All right, guys, so this one is an eWOD, an endurance WOD for Saturday, August 15th, 2020, year of our Lord. Here's what we have. I promise you that every endurance WOD will go long, right? It'll be usually 25 minutes or more. Last week we had a 15-minute WOD, a small break, and then we ran a mile. It took us all over 25 minutes because of the rest. This one is, I promise you two things. They were gonna go long with some kind of monostructural movement that you know about, like running or biking or rowing for a really long time. Or the other promise that I make is that we're gonna do odd object and grunt work type stuff. So that's the version of eWOD we're getting tomorrow or today, Saturday. So here's what I mean by that. The version, you're gonna do a thing today that requires you to go out 200 meters and back 5 different times. And usually that means you're running, right? Usually it means you're running, but this time it means you're carrying something. So this is not where the heart rate is gonna be taxed. Instead, the thing that's gonna tax your heart rate today is gonna be the kettlebell swing, because we got 5 rounds starting with 25 kettlebell swings. And you guys know this, we've done hip hinging in every single eWOD since we've been back from quarantine. Today's no different. Remember, I want to end up stacked up overhead with the bell facing right above me, the sky above me. My hips are above my knees. I'm not sticking my butt out like this. I'm stacked like this. That's what I want to see a rep look like. Every single one directly up overhead, right? And modification of that is the Russian kettlebell swing. But if you're going to do the Russian kettlebell swing, just promise me you're pushing it on the weight a little bit, okay? Especially if it's because your shoulders hurt, you can't go overhead, that's fine. So we've got, starting off with 25 kettlebell swings, and then we're gonna take it over to the pads and we're gonna do 25 sit-ups. I don't really have a standard for the sit-up outside of ending with my shoulders past my hip crease, right? So that means you can go butterfly style, shoulders touch the ground, shoulders past the hip crease. I can go both feet on the ground, knees up, shoulders touch the ground, shoulders past the hip crease. Or I can go both legs straight out, shoulders touch the ground, shoulders past the hip crease. Kind of see where I'm going with that. We have different variations. The points of performance remain the same. Where are we gonna spend most of our time though? The third movement in this triplet, 5-round triplet, is a 200-meter farmer carry, which we've done farmer carries recently, but we haven't done them where they are the main focal point of the show, okay, which is going to be tomorrow. 200 meters, 5 different times, 1,000 meters of weighted carry, right? And I mentioned this 2 Saturdays ago, we call it the farmer carry and not the farmer walk or the farmer run, because you kind of have an option. It really depends on the weight that you choose, how quickly you can go. How about we call it the farmer hurry, okay? I'm gonna take 2 kettlebells, so I'll have a pair at my station, maybe a pair of dumbbells as well, right? I'm only gonna use 1 for the kettlebell swings, but then I'm gonna pick up both kettlebells, right? And I'm gonna pull my shoulders back. This is my priority tomorrow. If the weight is pulling you so far forward, you look like this as you're carrying, you are too heavily loaded. So we're gonna take a pair of weights, identical pair, where I can pull my shoulders back and get my hurry on, right? 200 meters. So that's really it, guys. Here's what I would do as far as modifications are concerned. Kettlebell we talked about, right? We're gonna modify not the rep count. Instead of going overhead, we can modify to Russian kettlebell swings with the sit-ups. Same idea. I really want you to still get the 25 reps. The only thing that would potentially change is the range of motion. Maybe just do a crunch instead of a push-up or a sit-up. Lastly, we have this farmer hurry. And you know, it's cool because this is something anybody can do at home, right? Because the kettlebell swings, we've taught you what an odd object swing looks like, or even a Russian object swing. And then the same idea will be true for the farmer carry. You'll just take 2 objects of relatively the same weight that you have to work on grip strength with, and you're gonna find your 200 meter, your 100 meter line and go out to it and come back. So even if you're at home, you can do this workout. Things to look for. I mentioned, you know, most workouts have some element designed to get your heart rate going and then stay at a high rate. This is not that kind of endurance workout. The endurance aspect of this one is how long can I hold on to these kettlebells for, right? Can you go all the way out to the 100 line before you have to rest? This is not a thing where I'm expecting unbroken 200-meter lengths with your kettlebell carries, with your farmer carries. Not at all. I just got done this workout, held a pair of 53s the entire time, but I had to, every single round, stop at the 50-meter mark. So I stopped 50, stopped at 100, stopped at 150, stopped at 200, right? So also notice that while 25 is a kettlebell swing that I should be able to rep out unbroken in most workouts, if it calls for 25, couldn't do that today. Definitely not. The grip strength is too taxed. So you get back from that farmer carry, think about what are you going to do to preserve your grip strength. It's probably going to be a day where you're going to need a towel. Definitely going to need a towel. You're going to want grips of some kind, whether that be gloves, whether that be gymnastics grips that kind of help you hold onto the kettlebells a little bit. Regardless, your grip will get taxed, but what I want to avoid is getting overly sweaty so that the kettlebells are not slipping out of your hand due to sweat. Just things to think about. But it's a fun one. It's a grueling one. It's one that you'll be happy when it's over, but you also feel like you got a great workout. That's the goal, always. All right, guys. Let me know if you have questions.